Well, it's like the 15th day in a row where another NFL insider confirms, yes, the Eagles are going to sign Justin Simmons. They have a lot of interest, but at this rate, I think I'm like you. I'm starting to smell some fake news and some signs pointing to the star safety not coming to Philadelphia. Also, the main suitor in the Haason Reddick trade buzz is reportedly out on the star pass rusher, leaving him one real option. Plus, Adam Schefter details the Eagles coaching staff coordinating on free agent choices and upcoming draft picks, and the brotherly shove, it's here to stay. I'm Thomas Mott. This is the Thomas Mott Show. Now, if you're like me, you probably don't have a perfect March Madness bracket after just one day of the famous tournament, but if your name is Bijan Robinson, remember the Falcons running back? He's one of 0.0396% of the country left to still have a perfect bracket. And while I'm still super glad that Philadelphia got Jalen Carter over Robinson, despite a lot of Eagle fans clamoring for a running back this time last year, you can't help but respect anybody who still has a perfect bracket through day one. Plus, not drafting Bijan Robinson allowed Philadelphia to grab Saquon Barkley this offseason, which has drawn a lot of praise from everybody, including Deshaun Jackson yesterday on WIP.
Man, I mean, Saquon Barkley, man, I think honestly, for one, to go in division, that's a bold move. I love it. He said, I'm leaving New York, and as you know, we hate New York, and they hate us, so I love the move on his end. But I think, he can definitely come in and be a great addition, man. The Saquon, I know, obviously, if he could come in and be anywhere of what I've seen in the past, it's a great pickup. And I think, for him in his career, I think this is a big step for him because, he's coming off of, 2 years ago he had an injury, and, the past year or two, I'm sure he's trying to come in and have a heck of a year especially to play on a team that, that was not like they wasn't a favorite. They didn't like us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now he's on the other side of it. So now I'm very excited to see what he can come over and do, man. Hopefully he plays lights out ball.
Of course, the man who made the Saquon Barkley dream an actual reality is Howie Roseman. And while you and I both think Howie Roseman is the best GM in the league, we're not the only ones. The rest of the league is really taking notice. For instance, how about the screen grab by Zach Berman of Jameis Winston and Browns GM Andrew Berry hugging it out last week after Winston signed with the Browns, but it's this quote on the whiteboard behind them inside the Browns organization from Howie Roseman that says, to win a Super Bowl, you either need the best player, Tom Brady, or make a decision that could cost you your job, which is similar to the quote that's on Howie Roseman's office wall, which we saw during the Saquon Barkley video here, that reads, producing talented players year in and year out is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Now, it is worth noting that Howie has taken a little more of a collaborative effort this offseason when it comes to free agent signings with, like James Palmer, for instance, confirming that Saquon Barkley was a Kellen Moore choice that was relayed up to Howie because Moore wanted Barkley in his specific new-look Eagles offense. And likewise on defense, how about Adam Schefter confirming to The Fanatic that Roseman is deferring a lot to Vic Fangio and making sure to get the guys that he thinks will be best in his defense?
Well, I think it's absolutely a collective vision. And I think Howie Roseman becomes the lead grocery shopper, but he doesn't go without adding things to the list. Like when I go to the supermarket for my wife, what do you want me to get? You got creamer, milk, eggs. Okay. And then I add this and that and this and that. And I kind of feel like that's the way they probably do it here a little bit, right? Vic says, I could use, a corner. I could use a safety. I could use a pass rusher. I like this guy, I like that guy. Howie goes to the market and he brings home, Bryce Huff and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. This is what he brings home. Now, maybe Vic would have liked, I don't know, Danielle Hunter, but it wasn't on sale. And Bryce Huff was at a fair price. And so, yeah, those are all good analogies, and I do think it's a collaborative effort. And I'm sure Nick does have some say, but it's a whole team effort here with Howie going out to buy the groceries.
I think we're witnessing the ultimate iteration, the final form of Howie Roseman. I mean, he was, a yes man way earlier on in his career, working his way up through the Eagles organization, then became the guy, then got demoted when Chip Kelly was there, and then came back to build one of the great rosters in the past 20 years, the 2017 Super Bowl team. And now he's not only the guy, but he's also deferring to some of the older, wiser people on the coaching staff, the coordinators, to make sure, hey, Vic, you need your guys? We're going to get your guys. Oh, hey, you want Saquon Barkley, Kellen Moore? We're going to make sure you get Saquon Barkley. I'm really pumped to see, hopefully, that Howie can continue this trend and have a really good draft next month. Now, of course, the last remaining Fangio guy that I'm sure Vic has been beating down Howie's door to get has been Justin Simmons. And I know, listen, we have talked about him daily. I mean, day after day after day. Are they going to get him? Are they not going to get him? Well, just like the past couple of days, there's a fresh new update from Inside the Birds writer Andy DeCiccio, I think I said his name right, who told The Fanatic yesterday morning that the longer he sits out there, the more becomes a viable possibility. Justin will be a plug-and-play in Fangio's system. I think playing on a team that's going to compete for a Super Bowl and playing for your former DC will be appealing. And well, that sounds great, but we've heard that like literally every single day this week and every single day last week. I'm starting to kind of just not believe the whole idea that Simmons is going to be an Eagle. If he wanted to be an Eagle, he would be an Eagle. And the problem is, as we keep saying, the price. Remember, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, 26 years old. He was $11 million a year on his deal with Philadelphia. The Eagles do not want to give Justin Simmons more than C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Doesn't make sense. He's too old. And so either he's got to take way less, $8, $9 million on a 1 or 2 year deal, or he's got to hope that during the draft or during maybe training camp, someone has a need or an injury and overpays for the aging star. Like, again, I love him, but this whole idea that he's guaranteed to come to Philly just because Vic Fangio is here doesn't seem to be happening. And as the days continue to roll on, I'm seriously starting to wonder if the Eagles are even calling him. Are they even still interested? I'm just not really buying it. Plus, of course, maybe Simmons quote tweeting the announcement that the brotherly shove isn't being banned by saying, "It's an offensive play, makes sense, LOL," is a sign he won't be an Eagle. Now, that last part, a little bit of satire. I'm reaching right there in terms of him not wanting to be an Eagle, but it is funny to see a defensive player get upset that the brotherly shove is staying in the NFL. Which, by the way, if you didn't see the news yesterday, Adam Schefter did post that the NFL is leaving the tush push as a legal play for 2024. NFL exec Troy Vincent said today that there will not be any proposal presented this offseason to ban it for next season. The Eagles, Vincent said on a conference call, do it well. Now, I'm an Eagles fan, but come on, this was always the right move. Like, love it or hate it, the Birds are just better at it. Like, why ban a play that only one team is really good at? Oh, and I guess, plus those of you who are wondering that Jason Kelce, he's retiring, that means the brotherly shove is going to stink. Do you really think Jason Kelce, who apparently has the secret sauce of the brotherly shove, didn't share it with Cam Jurgens? Like, that's the one thing that he kept from Cam Jurgens. Said, no, Cam, we're not going to tell you how to do this. Come on. Cam Jurgens is a little bit stronger, I would say. He's a lot fresher and younger than Jason Kelce. He now knows the secret. I think they're going to be just fine. Now, one person who might not be fine is Haason Reddick, who continues to wait for a trade or a brand new contract. And it seems like just a few days ago that Atlanta was the leader in the clubhouse for Reddick after Falcon Hawk reporter Kevin Knight tweeted that, "I do believe the Falcons are working on a trade for Eagles edge rusher Haason Reddick. Whether it materializes or not, who knows? Atlanta would need to come up with at least $16 million or so in cap space to complete the trade. I suspect it'll cost a third-round pick at minimum, too." But of course, like Simmons, those reports came and went with no moves being made. And now this morning, another Falcons insider confirmed that it doesn't look like Reddick and the Falcons are likely walking down the aisle. Source, not likely, shocked if it happens. Yes, vague, but not my words. Falcons are prioritizing the draft at this point and looking at extensions, restructures, and cuts. I think the Reddick trade hype has officially died. Like, at this point, no one wants to trade for him and also go ahead and pay him a massive contract. He's an Eagle. He's going to be an Eagle, at least for the time being. He's an Eagle. Right now, no one wants to acquire him. Reddick continues to sit back and wait to see if anything's going to materialize. And let's not forget, Reddick is on the books for $14 million this season, and technically, either is going to have to hold out for a new contract or pray someone trades for him or accept an Eagles brand new offer, which reportedly has been out there, but is way less than the rumored $25 million a year that Reddick continually has told people he wants. Now, there is a good chance that, just like Justin Simmons, things might heat up around the draft if one of these pass rush needy teams like Atlanta in the top 10 fails to get their next sack specialist, but I think all of us waiting on a Reddick move, the week of free agency, now the week after free agency, now going into the week 3 after free agency, it just doesn't appear to be happening anytime soon. Now, speaking of the draft, I know we're all hoping the Birds draft a linebacker next month, and of course, one of those targets is Trotter Jr. out of Clemson, who I think is falling on some of people's draft boards, following the stellar combine and pro day from Aggie Edgerrin Cooper, but I still think 2nd, 3rd, 4th round is kind of where Trotter Jr. is going to land, although, as long as he doesn't become a Cowboy or a Giant and force his poor father to wear those ugly blue colors, I think he's going to be very successful wherever he lands.
What if he was drafted by
All jokes aside, which linebacker do you guys want in April's draft? Is it Cooper? Is it Trotter? I know there are a lot of other ones. Those are the two big Eagle-related names that have popped up. Let me know down below in the comment section. And of course, make sure you guys have a great rest of your Friday heading into next week. I'm going to do a little bit of traveling overseas. Going to get some shows up as well. Stay subscribed. Stay tuned. I'm Thomas Mott. This is The Thomas Mott Show.